Have you ever felt completely alone, even when you're surrounded by people, laughing, talking, maybe even friends or family, and yet inside it's like you're behind glass? You hear them, you smile, you nod, but it's not landing. It's like you're watching yourself participate, but you're not really there. I'm in the East Village again, as usual. I keep coming back here because this is the neighborhood I grew up in, and this is the neighborhood where I used to come to try to feel somewhat alive. Especially St. Mark's Place. St. Mark's Place is basically the center of the universe. You know, we talk a lot about loneliness, but not the kind that comes from isolation. The worst kind. It's the kind you feel in a crowd, at a party, at a dinner table, when you're the only one who seems to be somewhere else. St. Mark's Place is a street that used to be filled with misfits, poets, punks, and people searching for something real. Now, it's influencers on frozen yogurt. Connection's been replaced by content. We don't talk anymore. We just post. We don't feel anymore. We scroll. And it's all in that noise that you can be the loneliest person in the room. I know you know what I'm talking about. Here's a bong store. They've been selling bongs on St. Mark's Place forever. There's Bull McCabe's Irish pub. Look at these steps. There used to be a guy that would always be on these steps. He was clearly an alcoholic. And then one day, he died. Did anyone miss him? I don't think so. But maybe, by me remembering him, I kind of missed him, in a way. Or immortalized him. You know, Kafka once said, "I am one of those who are made for solitude, not for the strange compromise of social life." And I feel that. It's not that I don't want to connect. It's that I want something real. Not small talk, not for likes and shares, but soul, stillness, and recognition. And it's really weird as we stand in front of this building that used to be Andy Warhol's building called the Dom. This was where Warhol's experimental music venue used to be. His plastic exploding inevitable. That's where the Velvet Underground used to, I believe that's where they debuted. and they used to play there often, along with Lou Reed and many other avant-garde players. Now, it's yogurt shops and fancy boutiques. After Warhol left, in the contract for the sale of the building, he stipulated that the building had to be used for some sort of community center. And I remember for 20 years rather, it had to be used for some sort of community center. And I do remember it was a homeless shelter for 20 years. And I always thought it was a methadone clinic at that time in the 90s. At least that was the rumor. But I digress. Feeling alone in a crowd seems to be more common today than it was in Kafka's time in the late 19th, early 20th century. Walking down St. Mark's Place with all of these people, with all of the tattoos and the piercings and people eating sushi, I feel very alone, and I can relate to it. But today, that has become an epidemic. And I believe social media has had a lot to do with that. Social media is isolating people more now than ever before. People are up all hours of the night, and the day rather, doom scrolling. People like to doom scroll today. So if you're on social media doom scrolling, you can relate to this. It's a crazy phenomenon where people don't talk to human beings anymore face to face. They simply doom scroll until they pass out from fatigue. And this is something that's happening these days more and more. It's an isolation that people feel to their core. No one's connected to anyone anymore. Endless doom scrolling, Instagram posts that tell people that they're supposed to feel this way, look like this. If they only bought this product, their lives would be changed and they would be happy. And this is what's happening today in society. Endless doom scrolling. People are looking for meaning where there is no meaning. Welcome to the void. Sometimes it seems like everything is just pointless. Our lives are like a flicker of light that's gone in an instant. but people just go on, going through the motions. They enter stage right, they exit stage left. This is the East Village, where at one time you could come to feel alive. One time I used to come here to feel alive. Now when I come here, I feel more dead than anything else because of all the fakeness and all the imitation.
The temperature is perfect.
Nothing is real anymore. You know, the other day I watched an old Woody Allen movie that you may have seen in the past called Annie Hall, one of his hits. In the movie Annie Hall, the character that Woody Allen was playing made a profound statement. He said, in life, people are divided amongst two groups, the miserable and the horrible. The horrible consisting of people who have terminal cancer, are missing limbs, handicapped, people like that. That's the horrible. And the miserable is everyone else. So if you're miserable, consider yourself lucky. You should be happy if you're miserable. And at the time it was very funny and, you know, everyone laughed. But think about how true that is. I think it's very true. So which one are you? The miserable or the horrible? What does it even matter at this point? As we cross East 13th Street. So this is going to be a short video. I just wanted to talk about how we're all caught up in folly that is basically meaningless and pointless, but we do the same things over and over again, waiting for our lives to conclude. It's not sad, it's just how it is. So yeah, this video is for anyone who's ever smiled in a group of people, a large group of people, and still felt the ache. You're not broken, you're just not faking it as well as everyone else is. And that's not a flaw, that's your honesty showing. So if you like the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, or don't. In the end, it doesn't really matter anyway. You know what's really weird when you think about it? All these people here walking down the street, if you could turn the clock forward 50 or 60 years, most of them will be dead and they will be replaced by another group of people walking down the street doing similar things over and over again, day in and day out. Welcome to the human race.
Oh, weird.
Round and round we go. Where we stop, well, we all know where we stop. Kafka knew it. Everyone knew it. I think she has emphysema. That cough didn't sound too good. All right, folks. Until next time, peace out.